This is the first time in my 88 years that this planet has had to be confronted by four crises. Now, I've always felt that crisis is also an opportunity, but this is more of an opportunity than I think we're ready to handle, except we don't have any choice. And we have a health crisis that, regardless of who caused it, it has gone all around the world, and people are dying. And we've got to get a hold of it. That health crisis has produced an economic crisis. So we're ending up probably with the biggest budget deficit ever in the history of the United States of America, bigger probably than even after World War II. There's also a race crisis where the world seems to have come to a realization that we can't exist in separate, isolated little cones with people just like ourselves. In order to deal with these other crises, you cannot have a thriving economy without essential workers being employed. You cannot have a health crisis cannot be solved unless it can be solved for everybody. Disease is no respecter of race, creed, or class. But then we've got a climate crisis. And we're already on the 14th hurricane, and it's not September yet. And there are 3 or 4 more out in the Gulf, in the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf, heading toward the United States. The fires in California and the flooding in the Midwest, all of these are consequences of a climate crisis. And it cannot be solved by one nation. America first is totally impossible. You cannot have just America. America can be first, but America has to be the leader of these world in solving these crises. And you can't bully the Chinese into obeying what we want. You can't do that with the Nigerians, say, or with the Indians, or with the Iranians, or with the Koreans and Japanese. But we are the only nation that has all of these national resources as part of the United States of America. So if anybody is going to solve the problems of these 4 extremely dangerous and volatile crises, it's going to have to be this present generation, and the leadership of that generation is going to be decided in November of 2020. Now, if you can't bully, and if no one man's instincts are going to be sufficient to deal with the problems of the world, you've got to have a chief executive officer of the planet, someone that is calm and cool and reflective, and who knows that he does not know, and seeks the best minds in every field, in every nation, and finds a way to organize them and put them to work. And we don't have much time on that. Politics is almost always behind science and business and morality and spirituality. And there is more of a spiritual vision, not only of one nation under God, but of one planet under God. This is my Father's world. It does not belong to any single nation.